Welcome to an IPC update. Today, we want to show you the roots of our IPC philosophy. We want to talk about some updates for our current product portfolio, and of course, we want also to show some innovations. And talking about the roots of our philosophy, we have to go way back in time. So maybe it's better to let you start, Roland.
Yeah, what is not smart move in the beginning of our presentation that I have to talk about the old products. But actually, you're right. I'm with Beckhoff for quite a while, so I were able to see many of the developments we did over the last 20 or 30 years. But luckily, the PC technology at Beckhoff started even before I joined the company. So if we take a look back, it started in 1986, when Beckhoff decided to use an IPC for automation. Or actually, to be very precise, we decided to use software for automation. And then if you decide to do that, you of course need an IPC. And that's what started in 1986. The first industrial PC was made by Beckhoff. And just a few years later, as we explored the requirements of you, our customers, we identified that it is essential to also build the motherboard ourselves. Because honestly, that's where everything starts. The performance, the quality, the robustness against circumstances or humidity or heat, everything starts at the core component, the main board. And that's why already in 1990, we developed, designed, and produced our own motherboard. And we do so since then. So for over 30 years, Beckhoff is designing, producing single motherboards. What happened over time is it developed a unique product portfolio of many different products. So first of all, something we call our control cabinet PCs, which you can see over here. So a typical IPC in different sizes and scales, which you put into your enclosure and fix it over there. And then a unique innovation in the year 2001 is the embedded PC family. It doesn't look like, but this is high-performing computer power on the DIN rail. In addition, we decided to take the PC power and put it more or less behind the display. And then what you can see here is our group of panel PCs. And then last but not least, we have what we call standalone control panels. So you can cover a long distance between your operating interface and the PC with just cable connections, and that's what we call the control panel, or you may call it an HMI. So we take our core competence, our know-how of products, and put it in all the different product families here. And then what we also decided over 30 years is that we would like to take the quality of the inside and the performance, and we would like to show it to the outside. And that means that we build designed products. And this product here is a wonderful example of a designed product. And why do we do that? Because a product has inside values, and we would like to show it to the outside. And we do it for reasons. And one reason is trust. You as a customer or your end customer should open up your cabinet, should see the control unit, and should trust your unit. So it's a trustable product with a trustable look and feel. And that's what we all put together, and still here in our German location, designed and produced, all centralized in Germany. And honestly, sometimes customers came up and say, hey, listen, Roland, but is this state of the art? Is this still the right time to do things yourself? Is this affordable? So I would like to share this question with Fabio, who can give you an insight that this made in Germany is still state of the art.
Yeah, Roland, I think you and I, we both do know that it is very good for our daily work if we have all at one place, the development as well as the production. It makes us very flexible when we have new customer queries, when we have issues in the production, we can react so fast. So this is helping us, but is this also helping our customers? And one of our customers said yes, the company BMW, they have decided for Beckhoff as a long-term supplier for the upcoming 10 years. And the good thing is that we are not only supplying one specific product, but the whole IPC products that are required at this company. And this is really a good benchmark for us because it shows that our standard portfolio is capable of serve all possible needs at a large company like BMW. And many of our customers are for sure familiar with the products that we are using. They are, for example, the CP32, the panel PC with Core i performance. We also are using the C52 ATX-based rack PC, and we are also using our compact industrial PCs, the C60 30. So the good message is, no matter if you are the large customer, BMW, or a customer who is using Beckhoff for the first time, you will use the same products and benefit from the same quality. And talking about products, I'd like to go more into detail and talk about one specific product series. And Roland already mentioned that in 2001, our embedded PC series was introduced, giving customers the chance of using IPC technology directly on the DIN rail, with the benefit of adding additional IOs to its left side. And this product portfolio became, in the meantime, very scalable in terms of performance, CPUs that you can use, options that can be added. And one of the most successful series is the CX5000 series. This Atom-based series is something like the working horse in our product family. It is used for so many different applications, HMI applications, medium-sized motion applications, and also standard PLC tasks. And now this product series, the C5000 family, is equipped with a new generation based on Intel Atom Apollo Lake processors. And those processors are not only giving us more performance and longer availability, they are also giving us some new fancy features. For example, we are now able to use additional interfaces that can easily be plugged in at the side of the PC, just like it is known from the CX2000 family. The IPCs will come with also the new UPS with OCT communication, and we will base it on Windows 10 64-bit, perfectly suited for Trinket 3. And also TrinketBSD will be used on this platform.
Well, one thing I would like to add, Fabio, is that whenever we decided to use a new product family in a specific product because of its excellent automation possibilities, or like you said, HMI or any other possibilities, we then always like to make this possible into the entire product range. So you as a customer who then is in favor of Atom Apollo Lake but does need an embedded PC should have other options. And that can be seen on the next picture. So when we talk about the PCs and the panels, first of all, yes, we will take the very small compact C60 family also in this range, and also the existing C69 family will utilize Atom Apollo Lake processors in the near future. And then, for sure, we will equip our entire family of panel PCs also with Atom Apollo Lake CPUs. So again, you have the free choice out of our portfolio to use the embedded controller, the cabinet PC, or the panel PC product. And even for very price-sensitive applications, we have our economy products here, the CP67, which will also use the Apollo Lake processor. So the start is placed in the CX52, and then it will continue step by step into all the other products. So let's go back to CX family and to further updates, because we are talking right now with Apollo Lake about mid-class, but now I think Fabio is going to the top and talk about newer CPUs in the CX family as well.
Yes, and here we can offer a new highlight. We are using now for the first time AMD CPUs in our CX2000 series. So mainly, and our customers know that, we are based on Intel x86 CPUs, just like the Core i CPUs, for example. And in the meantime, especially in the consumer market, AMD CPUs, and in particular the Ryzen CPU, became very popular. Unfortunately, up to now, we haven't been able to make use of these new CPUs because they haven't been available in the embedded product line. But now this is changing. We can use 2 new CPUs that are offered in this embedded line, which means we can use them for many years, in this case, minimum up to 2029. And there are some really good CPUs we are now introducing. We have a dual-core CPU with 2.3 gigahertz, and we have a quad-core CPU with 3.35 gigahertz. So much more performance that is added to the portfolio. We can also use all the existing options that are known in the CX2000 family, like the power supplies, like additional interfaces. All this can also be added to the new Ryzen-based embedded PCs. And talking about operating systems like we did before, we are not only offering Windows 10 64-bit, but also 32-bit. And this is very good for existing customers who are using Trinket 2. they can also use this product family, which is with its long availability with Trinket 2. And as I mentioned it already for the Apollo Lake processors, also these devices will be equipped with TrinketBSD.
Well, even here in the studio, I can feel the fear of some customers that Beckhoff is already changing his philosophy way back from one traditional supplier to another one. From Intel to AMD, now from Microsoft to TrinketBSD. Well, don't worry, because Fabio just mentioned, the AMD is an addition to our product line. So of course we maintain the successful business with Intel, and we will provide you further upcoming Intel CPUs. And the same steady development will be for sure with Microsoft. So when I now start talking about TrinketBSD, I talk about an addition to our product family. I'm not talking about moving away from Microsoft. It's a long-lasting partnership we have. It's a very stable operating system with excellent features. And for sure, we will continue our success story from Beckhoff and Microsoft. But when we take a look into the portfolio from Microsoft, we have the Windows 7, Windows 10 full-blown operating systems. But then for many, many years, there was a very small compact Windows CE. And let's go back to history. I remember the beginnings of Windows CE, which you probably don't do because I'm the old guy around. But honestly, Windows CE has an end because Windows Embedded Compact 7, as they call it today, will not be continued with the further version. So it's time for us to provide you additional operating systems for especially small and compact units. So what do you need? Well, you need a real-time capable operating system with a small footprint at excellent license cost, which will protect your intellectual property. And that's where TrinketBSD comes into the picture. It is founded on the BSD, the free BSD, which was developed in California by Berkeley University. So this operating system is around for quite a while, and we just utilize the features of TrinketBSD to provide this to your machine. And again, easy to set up, very stable, excellent real-time capabilities. That's what you can expect, and that's what we can offer with TrinketBSD. It supports Trinket 3, multi-user, multi-core, everything you expect. And again, don't be scared, because if you take a look to the product itself, it will not change the way you program. So today, you use Visual Studio as the platform for your programming, and it will remain the same also in the future. But down on the shop floor, what we call the runtime, TrinketBSD comes as an option into the picture. So you are in charge, and you have the choice in the future to equip TrinketBSD on this device or typical Windows operating system as you know. With TrinketBSD, we can protect your intellectual property because it's not an open source operating system, so we can protect your know-how and you can protect it. You have security features and advanced options available, and according to the Trinket performance class level, a nicely scalable pricing model. So these were some facts about software. I think now it's time to switch over to our showroom, where Fabio is now and would like to share some other product news with you.
Luckily, we have the opportunity to use one of our trade show walls here in our showroom. And this trade show wall shows perfectly how large our product portfolio really is. This reaches from small ARM-based CPUs up to our larger multi-core x86-based CPUs. And about these small CPUs, I'd like to give you an update. These are used, for example, in our entry-level products, like the CP66 devices we see right here. And here we have a new project update. In the Czech Republic, colleagues of us and a project group have used this device, beside of others, for ventilation machines. And these ventilation machines are based only on standard and regular available products. They have started the project, they have qualified it locally, and afterwards they have released the program code and also the part list publicly so that the devices can be rebuilt. We are very happy that we are able to help, in this case, fighting the pandemic, not only with our products, but also with the know-how of our colleagues locally in the Czech Republic, who were helping to program this application. And I also have a product update about this product series. We are now offering our entry-level devices also with the new push-button extension underneath it. This is not only improving the design of the products, but it's also reducing costs, as our customers can do the wiring much faster now. We already have talked about several processor updates. We have talked about the Apollo Lake generation that is introduced. We have talked about the new Ryzen CPUs. And also our portfolio of Core i-based CPUs is now extended with the 9th generation, the Coffee Lake generation. This Coffee Lake generation comes with many new features. For example, we are getting in general more cores. Beside of dual and quad-core CPUs, we can now also use processors with 6 and even 8 cores. This is perfectly for us as we are using Trinket 3, and Trinket 3 has the capability of make use of all these different cores. So this is perfectly for us. Furthermore, we are also getting more memory. For example, our ATX-based IPCs can now be equipped with up to 128 GB of RAM. And the CPUs are also getting more last-level cache, so the memory that is dedicated directly to the CPU. The i7 processor, for example, gets now 12 MB of RAM, which is a plus of 50%. Then we still keep high frequencies. The Pentium CPU has up to 3.7 GHz. And for the first time at Beckhoff, we can also offer NVMe SSDs. These NVMe SSDs are used, for example, in our ATX-based PCs and in the C60 series. Now, when we have a CPU generation that comes with so many good new features, which is also new, which means that it is also longer available, then we are introducing it into all of our products. Not only the 19-inch rack PCs, our ATX-based PCs, this new C60 generation, also in our C69 platform.
Again, a perfect buzzword for further basic IPC information from Beckhoff, C69 family. This IPC family is already in place since 2005. And yes, we have the 8th and 9th generation Core i as of today. But not every customer would like to jump over to the latest, greatest day by day. I know that many of you have a constant machine design or constant installation, and you prefer long-time available products. Don't mix it up. We need operating products for a long time, so 24/7, but also long-time available. And C69 is a wonderful example. Let's take to the time frame here. Already in the year 2005, we started with the design of the C69 family, these days with a Pentium M processor. And basically every 2 to 3 years, we are implementing a newer CPU generation. We keep the old one in place, we add the new one. And then a few years later, we add another new one. And that means that basically always 3 generations are available at the same time. And once in a while, we discontinue one product family. There was the mistake. We don't discontinue the family, we discontinue the motherboard generation. And we keep the family alive. And that's something you can perfectly see again here, because now today, we are all the way up in the year 2020 with the 9th generation, the latest, greatest, and look to the product, they all look alike. Same dimensions, same power supply, same electrical interfaces. It's something what we call fit, form, function. And that's again something which you can expect from us, long-time available products, which gives you, again, a secured investment into your application. But let's go back to news and not look always to the history. I would like to give back to Fabio, and he's going to share some news in the C60 family, please.
Yeah, thank you, Roland. Although I may be not as long with the company as you are, I already have seen some product updates like we have introduced for the C60 series, for example. And this C60 series is already quite good known for all of our customers because they have some really beautiful advantages all in common. They are all very compact in their size and flexible in their installation. They are very cost efficient thanks to their all-in-one motherboard, where we are combining all functionalities that we require on one PCB. And they have a huge high, performance density, which means they have the maximum performance available on the smallest form factor. And the product portfolio in total is already quite balanced. So we have many different processors that we do offer. Today we have already talked about the Apollo Lake generation. And this Apollo Lake generation is also implemented in the C6015 and C6017. These were the first IPCs based on the C60 series that we have introduced. And still today, they are the smallest industrial PCs that we do offer. They are fanless, they have the Atom CPU available, and shortly after these devices, we have introduced the C6030 family. And the C6030 and 32 are based on Core i processors. I also have already mentioned the 9th generation of Core i CPUs. Here we are using 65-watt processors, and this is what I mean when I'm talking about performance density. The devices are so compact but already have 65-watt processors, which makes it possible that we are using a Pentium CPU with 3.7 GHz and an i7, for example, with 8 cores and 2.6 GHz. So this is a density we have never seen. But as I'm talking about the medium-sized Atom CPUs without fan and the C6030 devices with a fan, you may see that there's a gap in between. And this gap has now been filled by us. We have introduced for the performance in between Core i CPUs and Intel Atom CPUs the C6025, which is now using Core IU CPUs with a lower power consumption. So this Core IU CPUs makes it possible that we are offering a device that is still fanless, but already is equipped with Core i performance. So for the C6025, we are using, for example, a dual-core CPU with 2.2 GHz and a quad-core CPU with 1.7 GHz. And as you already know from the C60 family, we are always adding another layer, another PCB layer. And this is the same that we are doing now here. The C6025 is equipped with a second PCB layer, giving us the possibility to add additional functionalities. In this case, we are offering an option for a 1-second UPS, which is making it possible that the device can be used also optionally without a bigger power supply or UPS. And we are integrating more interfaces. In this case, 9 gigabit Ethernet interfaces, all separated, not 2 of them are switched. So in all, we have 9 independent gigabit Ethernet interfaces. And talking about interfaces, these are the benefits of the whole C60 family. They are based on open interfaces, and so they are perfectly suited for IoT communication. For example, for new machines, where we can use Trinket 3 on this platform to make these machines not only controllers, but also communication devices, edge devices, and gateways. And thanks to their compact size, we can also use them to equip existing machines with additional IoT functionalities. And when I'm thinking about the C6027, I have a device in mind with 9 different gigabit Ethernet interfaces, and this makes it perfectly suited for applications where I have a lot of third-party devices, all working independent from each other, but now combined and collected by the C6027. So this is the third scenario. So we have compact devices that makes it possible to be used also for existing applications where the space in the control cabinet is limited. But what if I want to eliminate the control cabinet, or if I have no space available anymore?
Yeah, that's the point where experience comes back into the picture, okay? Because if you think that's it, what we offered right now as news, well, that's not everything, because now at the end, we combine all these aspects together. So the performance, the long-term availability, the size, the flexibility, but also the package. Because as of today, everything needs to be packed in a cabinet. And that's why I would like to present to you a new product we call the C7015. And this product combines everything into one unique, complete watertight unit. And let's take a look to this little video which explains the features of the C7015 family.
Despite the extremely compact and cost-efficient device implementation, the C7015 from Beckhoff makes no compromise on its industrial capabilities. This is already evident in the high computing power of the integrated Intel Atom CPU with up to 4 cores. Thanks to a variety of onboard interfaces with up to 3 Ethernet ports, this industrial PC opens up countless application possibilities, ranging through to complex control tasks with simultaneous IoT communication, since the IP65-67 protection rating makes the C7015 also ideal for use as an edge device in harsh machine environments. With fanless cooling, the C7015 is suitable for a temperature range up to plus 50 degrees Celsius. The device is highly flexible regarding its installation options. The ultra-compact industrial PC is designed for direct mounting on a machine and can be installed on the side or rear panel of the housing due to several integrated fixing points. In any mounting position, space requirements are minimal. The onboard CatP interface can be extended with numerous CatP modules as required, allowing users to implement distributed solutions for complex diagnostics or condition monitoring tasks, for example.
Well, how easy would it be if you take the C1715 and you can install it where you want in your machine under the severe circumstances? Just place it to the machine. Again, as flexible as you know before, you can rotate the device and you have all inputs and outputs as you need. But I would like to comment to one highlight, and that's CatP, to be honest. Because CatP combines Ethercat communication and PS power. That means basically the connector on the top, which you can see here, which branches with just one single cable, I/O information and power to a multiple number of input and output modules. And now it can combine different things. CPU power if you just need an edge or gateway device, but with the input and output extensions, well, how cool is that? You can just add another sensor. You have an existing machine and you know, well, I need to measure vibrations, or I need to measure current, or I need to get pressure measurements done or other inputs and outputs later in the field. Well, that's so easy. Take the 7015, take CatP, add the input-output modules, connect your sensors, and that's it. All the data there. Enough CPU power to calculate internally, enough power to communicate into the cloud. And I think that's exactly what Beckhoff is all about. To listen what you need, to bring you new CPU power in your machine, in your application, to get it done, long-term availability and very safe. So, we had a couple of news today. Is there anything to add, Fabio, or are we done?
I think we have missed nothing, but let's recapture what we have talked about. So we have talked about some new products in the embedded PC family, as well as in the C60 family.
Yeah, and I was able to add that, yes, we talk about new products all the time, but we have the life cycle in mind, because the products are always long time available to secure your investment in your machines.
Yeah. And with TrinketBSD, you have also mentioned one real new technology highlight with the new operating system that we are now introducing. So I think all in all, we were able to show you some new highlights. And if you have further questions, visit us at beckhoff.com. And so far, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.